and welcome back to Sew Sally-O. In today's video we're going to be doing a quick and easy DIY tutorial of tie-dyeing t-shirts. This is something that I absolutely love. I did it loads when I was younger and actually really missed it. And I'd read in a few magazines and stuff online about tie-dye being a hot trend for summer. So I was like, what better thing can I do? Get the kids involved, get a load of cheap and plain white tops and just go crazy, make up our own designs. I've done loads of research about different designs and different techniques for getting the various patterns on them. I'll show you clips of all the different designs, how they turned out, and I also learned it's not just about the technique and the elastic bands or a string or anything like that. It's also about how much dye you put on in which section and at what stage. But the good news with tie-dye tops is that you literally can't go wrong. They're completely unique. The children love them. My husband was like, yeah, can I have one too so we can all match? You can use any colours. It's just a really fun craft DIY thing to do over the summer holidays or anytime. If you're new around here, then hi, I'm Sally and I create videos about kids, cakes and crafts every single week. So I would love to have you subscribe to this channel. At the moment I'm really trying hard to reach 3,000 subscribers. So if you like the kind of content that I produce, please do click subscribe below and help me achieve that goal. And leave me a note in the comments below if you've got any questions whatsoever about tie-dye t-shirts or craft DIY tutorials in general, any requests of things that you would like me to do coming up, and please do give the video a thumbs up so I know that you've enjoyed this kind of thing and then I can see what kind of videos that you would like to see me make more of.
So here I've just got two plain white cotton vests. These are from H&M and they were about £2.99 each, I think. Then the colouring I'm using here, the dye, is by Dylon. I've used this before and it's a really great trusted brand. I've got this kind of bright pink fuchsia colour and then navy blue. These vests, if you're interested, are in age 2 to 4 and 4 to 6. Next thing is to wash the vests or t-shirts. You just need to do this in plain cold water. Just make sure they're nice and wet and then wring them out so that they're damp, ready for the dye. I added about 2 tablespoons of just this plain table salt to the dye mixture. So you just need to follow the instructions on the dye packets. Like I said, I've got these pink and I've got navy. Keep stirring them around in the water until they're completely dissolved and also dissolved with the salt as well. The dyes do look a bit dodgy while you're mixing them and they might not look like they're a true representation of the colour that they're going to be, but just trust the packet and trust that the colour will eventually turn out like the colour on the front of the packet. So the first design we're going to be doing is the swirl. I think this is probably my favourite design of all of them. All you need to do is put the vest or t-shirt on a hard flat surface, grab a fork, whack it in the middle of the top, make sure you press down, not so hard to make a hole or anything, but just press down hard and twist that around and grab it with your other hand to smooth it round so that it makes a really beautiful swirl. It doesn't need to be perfect or exact, but just do your best and make sure it's a really nice tight swirl. And then you need to get elastic bands, string. I've actually used hair bands here because I had a million of them to hand from my daughter and I used 3. So you go once around, make sure it's really tight, and then the other 2 in a sort of a diagonal formation. And you're going to be pouring the dye on. If you're only using 2 colours, then you need to be doing them in alternate sections. So because I just had pink and blue, I've gone for 3 sections pink, 3 sections blue, alternating the colours as you go around. You could change this up and just use 1 colour and then leave a white section in between, but I don't think the overall effect would be quite the same. And if you're going to use 3 colours, again, you would only have 2 sections of each colour and alternate them as you go around. I've put these on these baking cooling racks here in the garden. One thing to note, make sure you wash anything thoroughly after using it. And also the dye actually killed the grass underneath. So if you've got some kind of a flower bed or soil or something that you don't mind getting messy, it might be best to put the rack on that instead. Here you can see the finished thing. This really is one of my favourite designs. You can see how it's turned out really nicely here. One thing to do before they are finished, which I will show you in more detail later on with an example, is to wash them in cold water, rinse all of the dye off, and then put them in the washing machine. But stay with me, I will show you how to do that in a second. Next design here I'm showing you is the rainbow. My daughter really wanted to do this one. All you need to do is lay the vest down flat on a hard surface and gather it up just using your hand in a kind of a rainbow or arch formation. You can make it up as you go along really, but just gather it up in that way in an arched kind of a shape. And then all you need to do is either again use an elastic band, hairband, string to tie up that middle section really tightly, and then add however many you like at regular even intervals all the way along to make this massive long sausage tied up with string. And then again here I've just gone for a navy blue and pink alternating design, and not really leaving much white because I was thinking that the white would stay where the string is tied the tightest. So again, I'm doing this outside, killed a bit of the grass, doesn't matter, it will soon grow back. So you can see here I left that outside probably to dry for maybe an hour. I just left them outside because it was a sunny day, and then rinsed off all the excess dye, put it in the washing machine, and then here you can see the finished thing. So there's quite a lot of dye on that one, not many white sections. Next, I'm doing rock spots, I've called these. You basically just need to get some rocks or stones, anything from the garden, and put them underneath the vest. You could potentially put them in the middle of the vest, but this is the look I've gone for. Underneath at random positions, lay the vest on top, and then again I'm using my daughter's hairbands to tie around the stones from the top. I am actually doing these quite tightly. I go back over these and make sure they're really, really secure on top of every single stone, pebble, rock. You can change the sizes round to get a different effect, but these are just at random intervals, and we're going to add the dye in a second and see how it turns out. Here's the finished thing, and once all of the pebbles and stones have been securely attached, I'm then wrapping it up with a couple of more hairbands just to make sure it's really secure when we go to add the dye in a second. Here you can see I'm just dabbing over and dripping on some of the navy blue dye. I did do this the first time just with the navy blue, but then I went back over it with a bit of pink later on, I think the next day, just because there wasn't actually very much detail if you're just using one colour. I think if you can afford it and you want to sort of get a few different dyes. I did think about yellow, but then I thought that's going to mix in and then we might end up with green, adding as a third colour, so having pink, blue and yellow. But I stuck with just the blue and the pink. You can see here that I'm just swilling out all of the dye, and I was left with the white top with the blue. Like I say, I went back over it, added a bit more pink just to give it a bit more detail. So rinse out as much as you can. I'm using just bare hands. Most of the guidance does say you should be using gloves for everything, but I kind of thought, what's the worst that can happen? My hands are always dyed or coloured with paint or food colouring or something anyway, so I wasn't too bothered. So just rinse that out until the water runs clear, and then put it in the washing machine alone. Don't put it with anything else, towels or clothes, because it will dye them. And again, that was just a cold wash for 20 minutes, I think. Here's the finished thing. I don't think I left the blue on quite as long on this one because you can see it's not quite as dark, but I still really like the pebbled effect. It's kind of spotty, splashy, kind of retro. I like it. So here you can see the finished things being modelled on the beach in Cornwall. The kids absolutely loved them because they made them completely themselves. They're really proud of them and the designs are completely unique.
Thanks so much for watching this quick and easy DIY tie-dye t-shirt video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a note in the comments, and please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Have an amazing rest of your week, and I will see you with another video next week. Bye!